What's up, y'all? Sparta here. Now, for this video, what I want to talk about is iPhone 12 Pro Max, and what better way to do that than to just use the phone itself, right, to record this video. And I've done this before. I've done this with the iPhone 12 Pro, and what a lot of people have indeed said was that there are certain issues that you see with, like, say, exposure stepping. It was a bit laggy. And it's not bad now. Actually, it's actually pretty good. Keep in mind that when I had the 12 Pro, it literally just came out, and these things take time, right? Even Apple, the infallible Apple, these days, putting out 4 different iPhone 12s, they each have their own problems, right? And the 12 mini in particular has had a slew of problems for a lot of people. There have also been some issues on the 12 Pro, on the iPhone 12 as well, in terms of battery issues, like in terms of standby time. But this looks really nice. But any phone can make this stuff look nice, right? What I feel that this phone doesn't really do well in is stabilization. I feel the stabilization is fine. It's no V60, and that's fine, right? But like I've been saying, these iPhone 12s have been having their slew of issues. Battery standby time issues have indeed been a thing with these phones. I personally haven't had any battery issues. I haven't had any display issues aside from when I was when I was battery testing this phone, right? And let me tell you something. You're gonna want to watch my next video on this, because this is gonna be pretty crazy. And that's yeah, the I've seen like a very minor case of burn-in on my 12 Pro Max screen. It seems to have gone away, but keep in mind, in harshly performance testing this phone, that's what you're gonna run into. So that's not necessarily something that I would say is something to look out for if you're not, say, watching hours and hours and hours of YouTube content on the screen's highest brightness setting, and then just letting it roll for hours. So you most likely will run into that, whereas I did. And it's not that big of a deal. Seems to have went away. There are other things, like, say, as you guys can see there, lens dots and stuff like that, which is just lens flares, but depending on how bright the subject is, as you guys can see, I can consistently get it. Whereas on my V60, I don't get it nearly as much, even though it does have that issue too. Same with my S20 FE. But like I said, I don't think the stabilization is that great. I think it's kind of like, other manufacturers have Apple beat in terms of that. In terms of overall video quality, I think it's about the same as everything else on the market. It's a walk and talk vlog. There are things that this phone doesn't do that other phones can do. Like, say, you switch between the selfie camera and the rear camera while recording a video on my V60, on my S20 FE. I think you can on my G8. Think on the OnePlus 6T, I don't remember. But yeah, you can't do that on here. But yeah, overall, I feel this phone definitely does a really good job. You get only 3x zoom, and obviously it gets way less stable. If I zoom, you can't zoom out to the wide angle. You have to record in the wide angle by default. But honestly, I think these colors are really nice. I don't really have an issue with that. You can lower the exposure if you want, but I think it auto exposes pretty well. I don't necessarily see any stepping issues. A little bit, but it's not nearly as noticeable as it was on the 12 Pro. With the 12 Pro Max, does quite a good job. Not the best on the market to me personally, but your mileage may vary. And yeah, I guess that's all I really want to say for this. There are a couple things I also want to say, but it's very cold out right now, and I'm going to the store because I need something to eat. So yeah, there's a little bit of jitter. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but I did. There's a bit of jitter when, like, saying doing this. You get a little bit of jitter, but it's whatever. You can honestly just expect that to happen. I guess I'll switch over to the selfie camera just so you guys can see what that looks like. Okay, so this is a selfie cam. It says it's recording in 4K 60, but on the viewfinder it looks kind of jank. I'm gonna be kind of honest there. It looks kind of You can take pictures on the front and rear cameras while recording video. That's really nice, but like I said, you can't. Oh, that's very overexposed. There we go. That looks really nice. Oh, and look, Camera Conspiracies has a video out. Yeah, I think the selfie camera video is very good. I don't personally take selfies or do selfie videos, so that's not something that I care about. But for those that do it, very nice camera quality. I don't necessarily think it's bad at all. I think it's solid. The only thing is, what it does is say, to give you some faux bokeh, is that it'll overexpose the background, so it looks like just you are in focus, when indeed that's not the case. But overall, it looks fine. If you don't like that, you can just tap on the screen and expose the background too, and it looks perfectly fine. I don't necessarily think it's bad or good, but it's indeed something that I wanted to show you guys. Other than that, though, that's it. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for support. Again, this is 4K 60 on both the front camera and the back camera. Again, on the back camera, you can only zoom in 3x and you can't zoom out. You can indeed record in 4K 60, but you have on the wide angle, but you have to do it separately. And that's pretty much it. I guess I'll do that as well. Okay, so here's 4K 60 on the wide angle. Okay, so when you go to wide angle, you can only zoom in 1.5. You can't zoom into 2.5 or 3, which kind of sucks, but you know, it's whatever. I do think this looks really nice. It looks really clean. The audio exposure is decent. I think it's about on par with everything else on the market. It does look a bit weird though. Like say right there, right where it's brightened up right there. When you move a little bit, the color temperature it looks it morphs. It's kind of weird. I don't know if any other phone does that. I don't have my V60 or my S20 FE on me, but that looks kind of off, but it's fine. It's a very minor thing, but it's just something I did want to point out. Yeah, I do think these cameras are very nice. I'm gonna edit this and render it in LumaFusion, which makes this phone actually catch up to the V60. It loses by 5 seconds, but it catches up, and that's really nice. But yeah, overall, I feel this phone does a really good job. I don't know. The only problem is that looks very weird to me. Like, it looks like, you know those like holographic colors when you shift it in the light or anything like that, it changes into a different scene? That's what that looks like to me, and that's kind of weird. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about with this. Have a good one, you guys.